Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Can Mayonnaise Kill a Jedi podcast. I am your host, the Artificial Dragon.
I'm your co-host, Hannah.
And welcome back to another episode of a podcast, everybody. And happy May 4th, everybody.
May the 4th be with you.
Yep. And at the time of his recording, it obviously won't be May 4th because I record all these episodes a week beforehand and then release them a week later, that sort of thing.
We have a schedule.
Yeah. So this is us talking to you from the past. Hi, everybody, in May 4th right now.
I hope there are a lot of good announcements. I can't wait to see.
Yeah, I can't wait for that too. So yeah, at the time of this episode, thank you everybody that has come in to become new supporters of the channel and everything. The Pious Diaz has been stringing you all in recently.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure a good amount of you just came in because it's Warhammer. I hope you guys still enjoyed the episode, and yeah, we're glad to have you as part of our little community and everything.
Stick around, we have cookies.
We have plenty of cookies, and speaking of dark side things, we have a new Patreon art piece, and for this month, we have a nice, smooth, thick-fied Chiss spy.
Yep, this is inspired by the thumbnail of the Chiss episode.
Yeah, the Chiss episode where there's a obvious Bond girl spy lookalike of a Chiss. She's got her little cocktail dress and a gigantic magnum that she's going to pump you full of blasters and everything. Yeah, so anyway, if you love our Patreon art pieces, you know what to do. Contribute to our highest amount of $10, and you'll have a wide selection of Patreon art pieces that you could use as pinups, or just print them out for general posters,
phone wallpapers.
Yeah, phone wallpapers, you know, the vanilla weeby shit, that sort of thing.
I mean, I will admit, I've got Dooku as my home screen and Thrawn as my lock screen.
You got the double husbandos on your phone.
Yep.
But yeah, if you guys are not into the Patreon art piece fan service stuff, you could contribute to any other amount, from the lowest being $3 and the mid being $5. And for any tier, you'll have instant access to our Discord server where you could talk Star Wars lore, make topic suggestions, or just make general memes here
and talk to us.
And talk to us, yes. And maybe show off your nerdy Star Wars collection. I know a certain somebody who loves showing off their Lego collection.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we have a lot of fun. It's still a small community, but we always appreciate the help that you guys give to us so that we could continue to make content like this every other week.
Yep, it gives us a reason to keep going.
Yeah, exactly. And since it's going to be a May 4th episode, I decided to do a little topic that's somewhat related to the Force. And I'm sure you know what today's topic is going to be, Hannah.
We're talking about Clone Mom!
Yes, we are talking about Jedi Master Shaak T, the as Hannah likes to call her, the clone mom of the Clone Wars and everything.
Yes, we're talking about Clone Mom.
Yep. Shaak T, Shaak T, much like Bib Fortuna from Return of the Jedi, is the first introduction to her race, which is the Togruta.
His?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Like Bib Fortuna is the male.
Bib Fortuna is the first Twi'lek. Shaak T is the first Togruta.
Yep,
which
the very first Togruta.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, and she's pretty much the poster child of Togruta before Ahsoka came along.
Yeah. I mean, when did the first movie come out?
I think it was like 2003, somewhere around there.
Obviously, I'm talking about the prequels, not the fucking original trilogy.
Yeah. I know that.
And Ahsoka wasn't introduced until the Clone Wars movie, which was like 2009?
2009, 2008, somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah. So Shaak T was our first taste of, Togruta, which I love.
Yeah, and Shaak T, obviously Shaak T doesn't have much of a huge character dive in comparison to Ahsoka, who's gone from a bratty little teenager to a strong, independent, gray Jedi character.
Yep.
But anyway, so we're gonna focus. Even though Shaak Ti doesn't have that much of a deep dive, she has a sizable chunk of history to talk about, and a little bit of her personality, the powers that she has at her disposal, and everything like that.
She's not just a wimpy background character. Kit.
Yeah, she's. A lot of people might consider Shaak Ti a little bit vanilla. She's. Well, okay, I say that, but she's not as bros as Plo Koon is. She's not as conflicted as Anakin Skywalker is. She's not as resolute as Obi-Wan is, or as wide as Yoda, but she's actually pretty cool in her own right.
Yeah, she is.
And she has a good amount of tragedy attached to her name.
Very. She's got a very tragic story.
Yeah. But anyway, before we daddle on about Shaak Ti and everything, let me go ahead and talk about her history. So let me see. So Shaak Ti, much like most Jedi, so like all Togruta, she comes from her homeworld of Shili, where she was discovered to be strong in the Force and was brought to the Jedi Academy to begin her training, just like most Jedi.
As all Jedi do.
Yeah, just like Plo Koon, just like Yoda, well, okay, I'm not sure about Mace Windu, but a majority of Jedi, we don't know too much about their childhood. It's generally assumed that they don't remember most of it, so to speak.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I wish we could learn more about most of the Jedi's childhood.
Which
and how they
is
came
one
to
of the
the Order.
things I'm actually hoping would get dived into in the new Tales of a Jedi series.
Yeah.
Especially season 2, I mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for season 2.
Yeah. So she was selected by a Jedi Master as an apprentice. Of course, we don't know who her master is, unlike Plo Koon, who has Tyvaka and everything. She would travel the galaxy and would complete her training and ascend the rank of Jedi Knight after passing the trials of knighthood. She served under the Council of Reconciliation as basically a diplomat, and uniquely, unlike most Jedi, she was permitted to travel back to her homeworld of Shili to go down the Rite of Passage amongst her people by hunting down and killing the Akko.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, which is
how she has her headdress.
Yeah, her headdress, which is literally made out of the teeth and bones of the Akko, which is hardcore as hell.
Yeah, Togruta are badass, and they're carnivores.
Yeah, they are carnivores.
We talked about that in the Togruta episode.
Yeah, I know you don't usually see it in most of her appearances, but it's Shaak Ti rarely smiles, or at least gives a huge toothy smile, because it's just sharp teeth under there. So
yeah,
you gotta be careful not to give off a wrong impression or everything.
Oh yeah,
she would look like a fucking vampire to those that she meets.
Ahsoka doesn't have sharp teeth though.
No. I'm not too sure about Ahsoka. Maybe she sharpens down her teeth, or maybe she's a vegan. I don't know, but
I've seen a lot of fanon lore added to Togruta culture, but we know nothing about Togruta culture.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We already dived into the Togruta for our own episode on them. Wish we could know more about them, but point is, Shaak Ti still has her sharp teeth, and Ahsoka doesn't for some reason.
Check out that episode.
And uniquely, unlike most Togruta, Shaak Ti was a highly independent being and preferred operating alone.
Wow, she's an outlier of her race.
Yeah, she is. Like we said, Togruta episode. Just like we talk about in our Togruta episode, the Togruta prefer being part of a community, because being by herself, that's basically suicide. But apparently Shaak Ti doesn't give a shit about being alone.
As the Star Wars 5e handbook says when you're creating a character, like with alignment.
Yep.
It says, this species usually falls under, light, but there are outliers. Shaak Ti is the perfect example of that.
Very true, yeah. But let me see. So, yeah, we're about to get into why most people think she's not the most powerful of characters.
It doesn't matter. She's still a good character.
And due to
she doesn't have to be powerful.
Yeah. Due to her highly independent nature, she has very unorthodox training methods, which are entirely different to the traditional training methods of a Jedi Order and everything. Like, her very first apprentice, they did a majority of his training on her homeworld of Shili, amongst the scrublands of her world, probably hunting down Akko in the process and everything.
I mean, she's a huntress.
Yep.
She hunts.
She is a huntress. Despite her beautiful and elegant-looking appearance, she is a huntress.
Yep.
I saw a comment when I was doing a brief video research on Shaak Ti. They compare her, like, whenever she's not in battle, she is calm and resolute. But when she is in battle, she is a crazy maniac.
Probably. Like, when you see her in the council chamber, she's got this very calm and serene look on her face.
Yep.
She looks like the ideal Jedi.
Yeah, and a lot of people would call her design the most beautiful of the entire Jedi Council.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But anyway, so her first apprentice trained him on Shilla. They completed their training, managed to pass the trials of knighthood, which, you know, is pretty good. Unfortunately,
How'd they get out into deep space?
unfortunately, on the Jedi Knight's very first mission, he got instantly killed by a criminal.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and yeah, that was not exactly great news for Shaak Ti to hear about.
Nope.
This is her being a Jedi Knight, by the way. She's not a master just yet.
I mean, Anakin was a shit master, so...
Well, I mean, sure, but at least
beginning.
Ahsoka's still alive.
Fair.
But...
I wanted to make a joke. You said Shilla instead of Shili.
God damn it.
I want to say, how'd they get out into wild space?
It just went right over my head when you talked about that. But Shili, not Shilla. The
Chiss homeworld.
Not the Chiss homeworld where it's the middle buttfuck nowhere where it's cold and shit. I get those names confused for some reason.
It's fine, I'm just teasing you.
Anyway, where was I? So even though her first apprentice died, and feeling this immense guilt that she failed as a teacher, she decided to try again, and this time she was even more strict to her second student, who is a female by the name of Faye Sun, and unfortunately there's no picture of her or anything.
Damn it.
But yeah, she had a much more strict and unorthodox mindset with her training. I'm not exactly sure what that relates to. I assume like kind of a love through, what's the word I'm looking for? She's basically a military sergeant in that case, I would imagine.
Okay. Love through brutality.
Love through brutality, yeah. Or hard love.
Tough love.
Tough love, there we go. God damn it. My brain does not work tonight for some reason. Anyway, so she trained Faye's son, and fortunately, she also completed her training and passed the trials of knighthood. And Shaak Ti's like, okay, finally, my training method has been perfected. Now she could go out and do good for the Jedi Order and the Republic. But unfortunately,
she dies.
She dies in her very first mission.
Oh no!
And
that's a real blow to the confidence.
Yeah,
God damn.
Yeah, just oof right off the bat for Shaak Ti.
Yep.
But fortunately, she had an identity for the murderer of her apprentice. It was this Zoltron criminal by the name of Lycia. And Zoltrons are like the purple-skinned humanoids and everything.
Yep.
Which is the race that Kit's first character was, Brianna.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. We'll eventually talk about the Zoltron. Take a shot for every time I say we'll eventually talk about it. But yeah, the Zoltron basically are...
The Zoltron are actually a really cool race to play in 5e.
Yeah, they are. They have like insanely high charisma rolls and everything.
Yeah, and they have pheromones.
Yeah, and pheromones, which makes them... Give them the ability to seduce people. Like, they would make great bards in D&D.
Yes, they would. Anyway, we'll cover the Zeltron in a later episode, because there's a lot to cover.
Yeah. Though, Shaak Ti, even though she, lost 2 freaking apprentices, she did not dive into a despair or anything like that. She stayed true to the tenets of a Jedi code.
That's good.
And she personally went out to find this criminal, and instead of doing what Anakin would have done and killed her, she decided to bring her in for justice.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so good on Shaak Ti for keeping her emotions in check.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway,
See, Shaak Ti's a better Jedi than Anakin was.
yeah. While her training methods were understandably put into question by a majority of the Jedi Council, they did recognize her power in the Force, and they decided to promote her to the rank of Jedi Master.
Nice.
Yeah, so even with having 2 dead apprentices under her belt,
It's not her fault.
I know, but you could understand it would feel like it's her fault.
Yeah, I'm sure she felt like it was her fault.
Yeah. But anyway, so she became Jedi Master, and then in the aftermath of the blockade of Naboo, she actually was ascended to the member of the Jedi Council.
Oh, who'd you replace?
Yaddle.
Of course. Of course. We all know what happens to Yaddle.
Yeah, and in canon anyway, yeah.
Well, there are 2 somewhat known deaths for Yaddle.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the important thing. She eventually replaces Yaddle in her seat of the council. Probably not her exact seat because, I mean, Yaddle's small and...
Well, duh, but that's good. She's still a good master to replace Yaddle.
Yeah, she is. So when she ascended the rank of Jedi Knight, she actually went down the path of Jedi Counselor, who are like the ones that focus more on the Force and not on lightsaber techniques, that sort of thing.
Yep, that's my favorite race. One of my favorite classes to play.
Well,
the Jedi Counselor, aside from the Sith Inquisitor.
Yeah. I do not want to play Jedi Counselor because that results in my waifu's death if a campaign.
I know! Rip Lacris!
Rip Lacris, my waifu, no. I remember seeing comments where people were all like, I'm traumatized, I'm never going to play Jedi Counselor ever again.
It was a good story. The only fucking downside is not letting Lacris live.
Yeah.
My Jedi would not have done that.
Yeah. Oh, poor Lacris. We knew you well, Lacris.
Rest in peace.
Anyway, aside going on from one waifu into another waifu. So she became Jedi Counselor, though ironically enough, she was remembered more for her skills with a lightsaber.
Wow.
She was the master of Form 2 Makashi and Form 4 Ataru, which, if you recall, Makashi is the one that Dooku uses. Yeah. And she is well regarded for her speed and grace, with even Mace Windu himself saying she is as beautiful as a flower, yet as deadly as a viper.
That coming from the man who fucking is blipping through time while fighting Palpatine.
Yeah, I fucking love that. I fucking love that story.
Yep.
That's Revenge of the Sith. With her mastery in Makashi, she is an accomplished swordswoman, and her skill is said to match Dooku himself.
That's fucking badass!
Yeah, in an era where lightsaber combat is extremely rare, that's saying something.
And it's the dueling. We talked about this in the lightsaber episode. Go watch it.
Self-promotion everywhere.
Makashi is a very elegant sword fighting.
Yep.
It's like fencing.
Basically.
Which was perfect for Christopher Lee because he was a master fencer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But it worked into Count Dooku. But having Shaak Ti be on the level of Count fucking Dooku.
Yeah.
That is awesome!
Yeah, she is a fucking whirlwind when she's in lightsaber combat.
That's badass.
And also enhanced by the fact that she's a master in Ataru, which is the fighting style where you do acrobatics and shit.
Of course. She jumps around like Yoda.
Yeah, she just does jump around like fucking Yoda on fucking speed. But anyway, and her mastery in Ataru allows her slim figure to go right across the battlefield, delivering swift blows to her enemy, which is also held by her natural attribute with her montrails and everything.
Yep, again, triggered episode.
Yep, which allows her to know every inch of her surroundings in like a 30 to 60 yard radius, I believe.
Ish.
Yeah, ish. Though she is also noted in her legendary strength and power in the Force, being capable of communing with nature more deeply than any other Jedi of her age.
She's basically a Jedi druid.
Yeah,
and
she's
I love it.
She's a Jedi druid, and a little bit of poison ivy once I explore more. She is particularly skilled in animal bonding, in controlling them with her sheer will, and even has skill in Kansaiter Saito, otherwise known as Plant Surge, which allows her to control vines and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she is literally
She
poison
is
ivy.
one with nature. I love it.
She is literally fucking poison ivy.
I love it.
On top of that, she has the ability to alter the environment and cause thick fog to appear, blast away foes with mighty whirlwinds, and freeze the surface of water with her ability in the Force.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Her power in telekinesis is also so powerful that Plo Koon himself praised her by calling her a telekinetic savant.
And that's coming from Plo Koon.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She is capable of even casually moving large structures like buildings and everything without even making hand signals and everything.
Wow.
And not even looking at them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she is.
See, Kate and Irk, she is not fucking useless. Fuck both of you.
Yeah. She is also proficient in force barriers, which is showcased when she had. So, okay, we'll go a little bit into it, but she led the first defense when the Separatists invaded Kamino. And there was a little breach in the Undercities where Taipoka City, which is where the cloning facility is that threatened of being flooded and everything. And she held back the entirety of the ocean
Wow.
from flooding Taipoka City.
See? She's not useless.
Of course, she couldn't hold off the ocean forever, but
Who can?
Yeah, she was able to hold it off long enough for that entrance to be blocked and everything.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, she is freaking badass. Let me see. She also is skilled in Tutaminis, which is so Tutaminis is basically the ability of absorbing energy, which is what Yoda did against Dooku's Force Lightning and everything. And you could also apply Tutaminis to blasters and lightsabers as well.
Wow.
Yeah, you remember that cinematic trailer where Satio Shan is fighting Malgus on Alderaan?
Barely. I need to watch it again.
Yeah, you'll have to watch it, but at the very end of their duel, it looks like Darth Malgus stabs Satio Shan, but she's just using her forearm to hold his lightsaber in place. That's Tutaminis, basically.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is a very good ability if you do not want to get slashed.
Nope.
And if that ability was what ultimately saved her during her first encounter with General Grievous on Hypori.
That is fucking awesome.
Yeah, she was just yeeted into a boulder, but the only reason she didn't get cut in half was because of Tutaminis.
Yep. That's the same episode where Shaggy died.
Where fucking Shaak dies. Yeah, but I love a micro series so much.
And the great introduction to Grievous.
Yeah, fucking
Terrifying.
horrifying. But anyway, where was I? Her skill as a warrior and diplomat even impressed Palpatine himself.
Wow.
Yeah, to the point where he officially commended Shaak Ti and kept her as part of his inner circle of protectors and public advisors.
And you could clearly see that in the miniseries as well.
Yep, and especially in a couple of scenes where Palpatine is talking with a majority of the Jedi Council. Those are like his cabinet, so to speak, if you will.
Yeah, like his inner circle of Jedi protectors.
Obviously, he doesn't trust her that much, but when it comes to Palpatine himself, that's saying something.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Especially, because it's Palpatine.
Yeah, and he's the puppet master with the many strings and everything.
But this is during his time as, senator into chancellor.
Yep, as a Supreme Chancellor most prominently.
Yeah.
Anyway, though unfortunately her position within the Jedi Council wouldn't be a peaceful one, as the galaxy endured the Separatist crisis and eventually the Clone Wars.
Yep.
Yeah, she was one of the many Jedi that went to Geonosis to rescue Obi-Wan, Anakin, Padme from the Petrinaki arena and everything. Almost got slaughtered by the shit ton of battle droids and Geonosians, but
luckily she survived.
yeah, she's one of the many survivors of the very first battle of the Clone Wars. I think like 100 Jedi were at Geonosis, and like more than half of them were dead.
Oof.
Yeah, it was not a fun time for anybody.
No hope.
And after the first battle of Geonosis, Shaak Ti became a Jedi general and was assigned to the Kaminoan cloning facilities in Taipoka City.
Clone mom, clone mom,
Clone mom, clone mom. Yeah, she was basically a supervisor for the clones that were training for future and everything, and was the public advisor to Prime Minister Lamasu. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Kaminoan names are weird.
Yeah, Kaminoans are very, very weird. Where was I? But yeah, Shaak Ti. I don't think Shaak Ti had a battalion she was assigned to, like the 501st with Anakin, the 212 with Obi-Wan, or the 102nd with Plo Koon. If she does have a clone battalion, it would be the entirety of Kamino.
Yeah, the clone, like I said, clone mom. She helps train the clones. She helps, she gives them morale. She's the one who conducts the graduation ceremony and, gives that speech.
Yep.
Fucking badass.
Yeah, she is. It's kind of ironic that they chose Shaak Ti as the mentor of Kamino, considering she has 2 dead apprentices under her belt.
I know, but, it's a bit of her chance to redeem herself.
Yeah, which is sad.
I love that.
I mean, it is sad in context because she's basically sending a bunch of essentially 12-year-olds and
she's sending kids to die. But, Padawans as generals, that happened too.
Yeah, that is very fair. But yeah, Shaak Ti, there's like a episode in the Clone Wars where it explores Domino Squad, which is the squad that Fives and Echo were a part of. And in their final test, context, they are going through a obstacle course. They need to climb up a tower to get a flag or something.
Like capture the flag.
Yeah, like capture the flag, except it's high up there. So to get up to that tower, they need like ascension cables and everything. But they find out, oh shit, our ascension cables, we don't have them on us. And so for the training of the clone troopers, they have bounty hunters basically helping train them and everything.
Okay.
And there's this asshole bounty hunter that didn't exactly have any faith in these clones. And he was all like, I'm going to take your guys' harpoon cables and see what you do with them. Fuck you. And there's another bounty hunter who's all like, Shaak Ti, I highly recommend that we restart the challenge and give him a fair chance. And Shaak Ti's all like, no, we're continuing on with a training session. And the other bounty hunter's like, but my colleague cheated. And Shaak Ti makes a good point of the enemy won't play fair either.
Yep.
And they managed to get up to that tower in a very creative fashion, mind you, and they were able to pass their final test.
See, she had faith in them.
Yeah, she had faith in them. Shaak Ti is a really great mother figure in the Clone Wars.
Considering the clones, basically don't have a mom. Jango Fett is their progenitor, but,
Yeah, I don't even think...
He's not even a quote-unquote dad.
Yeah, Jango Fett, he's
just their template.
Yeah, even Jango Fett, who was basically the trainer of all the clones on Kamino before, he passed away and everything. I don't think he even gave a shit about a majority of his clones, except
Only
for Boba.
Boba.
Yeah.
Only Boba.
Yeah, he basically compares them to a unused weapon and everything.
Oof.
Yeah, but yeah.
But Shaak Ti actually, thought that they were human in a way.
Yeah, they were living
people.
beings. Yeah. Like in that very same episode when she was discussing with Lama Su what to do with Domino Squad if they fail again, Lama Su was all like, maybe we should terminate them and continue on with Rez. And she's like, no, we're not going to terminate them. They're living beings. You. So yeah, good on Shaak Ti for actually giving a shit about clones and everything. Shout out to the Jedi in general for caring about the clones anyway. Except for Paul Krell, he's an asshole.
Except for Krell. Fuck Krell.
But anyway, where was I? Okay. During Kamino, her time on Kamino anyway, there were like 2 to 3 separate invasions on Kamino.
Jesus.
And she was able to repel all of them.
Good job.
Yeah, she is a friggin' Chad.
Yes, she is. Not compared to Darth Maul, but she's a Chad in her own way.
Yeah. And then, of course, we know, aside from Kamino, she has a couple of engagements with separatist forces, like we know Hypori, all of that, where she's one of the few surviving Jedi that encountered Grievous and lived to tell the tale.
Yeah, including Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Yep.
And that's all.
Ki-Adi-Mundi and Aayla Secura, yes.
Yep.
And then let me see. And uniquely enough, 5 months into the war, Shaak Ti would lead an invasion on this planet called Brento 4, which is basically this vital world that's on the very far end of a I fucking can't pronounce this shit.
Spell it out.
Perimian. Perilimian trade route, whatever the fuck it is.
Okay.
Anyway, point is, it's basically the Route 66 of Star Wars that connects the core worlds to the Tyon cluster.
Okay.
And that planet is at the very end. So if the Separatists take that, that's a vital supply line to invade the core worlds and everything.
Yeah, major highway.
Yeah, it's a major highway. And Shaak Ti, along with, I believe, Plo Koon, led this operation to retake the planet. Mm-hmm. And their basic idea is, okay, we got most of our ground troops on the world. We're going to segment. There's this fortress that has a ray shield and everything. Can't bombard it from orbit. That's where the main warlord is. We're going to segment and infiltrate each building one by one. And she led a small squad of clone troopers into this one building, which she found out was housing several prisoners. Mm-hmm. And amongst them were, I believe there was like a Wookiee, a former Senate commando, an undercover Quinlan Voss, and more importantly, the same criminal that killed one of her Padawans so long ago.
Oh shit.
And yeah, good old, I actually have a picture of Lystra. Give me a moment here. Yeah, she just has that smug bitch face.
Man. Yeah. She looks like a pureblood.
Yeah.
But probably just a red-skinned alien.
But yeah, anyway, so point is, she goes to this prison complex, and a lot of them were basically prisoners of the Republic, but now the Republic is invading this world, and Shaak Ti offered them an ultimatum, like, hey, help me infiltrate this facility, and if you do, you will basically be free men and women.
Nice.
And obviously, Shaak Ti was not happy with working alongside a criminal that killed one of her Padawans.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but they have like this on and off argument, like, why should I trust you, Jedi? I killed your Padawan, so what motivation do you have for setting me free back into the galaxy and everything? And Shaak Ti's like, if I wanted you dead, I would have killed you instead of sending you off to prison, that sort of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a very shaky relationship, very obviously.
Well, duh.
But yeah, the both of them, they made a fairly good team. Mostly Shaak Ti was just being the graceful Togruta Jedi Master that she was.
Of course.
Like, they went through several laser traps where, so I think she like force pushed Lystra out of the way, and she was just dancing in between laser bolts and everything. She just casually disregarded them.
Nice.
Yeah, and then they infiltrate. The main reason why she brought Lystra with her is because she knows that as a Zoltron, she could use her pheromones to, seduce the warlord and convince him to peacefully surrender and everything. Mm-hmm. And at first, that was where everything was going, and the warlord was, being subdued and everything. But then Lystra instantly backstabbed her.
Of course.
Yeah, and she, shot her in the back, and Shaak Ti just passed out, and the warlord's like, whoa, what the fuck? And Lystra's like, look, I killed the Jedi for you. This is obviously proof that I'm on your side and everything. Mm-hmm. And obviously Shaak Ti's not dead. She basically slowed her metabolism to the point where it seemed like she's dead.
Of course.
And
of course, that's a force ability.
Yeah, and she started to heal herself. And one of the other teams that she sent off, I believe Quinlan Voss was a part of it, they blow up the shield generator, and the warlord and Lystra were like, what the hell? And then Shaak Ti just instantly came back from the dead, had a brief little skirmish with a warlord, killed him, and Lystra was like, oh fuck, I'm so sorry, no, and she starts running away. And she came to this laser trap. And Shaak Ti's just menacingly very calmly walking towards her and everything. And Lystra is all like, not gonna give you the satisfaction of killing me, and she throws herself into the laser trap to kill herself instantly.
Jesus.
And Shaak Ti was like, I was going to spare you too.
Oh.
Yeah, Shaak Ti has a cold sense of humor sometimes.
Yeah, looks like it.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Another unique thing I came across in my brief research of Shaak Ti, there was actually a old expanded Legends novel where Shaak Ti was the main character of.
Really?
It is a novel. Unfortunately, it's canceled.
Damn it.
But there is, fortunately, there's like a brief synopsis, and there's it was completed, but they decided to cut it last minute. And
No.
but there is a cover of this
Fuckers.
book, and Shaak Ti just looks awesome in that.
Yeah. She looks so serious.
Yeah. So
The dude looks like Woody Harrelson. Whoever's holding the red lightsaber, he looks like Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. So this novel, it's called The Escape from Dagu. So basically the synopsis is, there's this war camp on this planet called Tagu, where it has a lot of clones as prisoners of war and everything. Mm-hmm. And Shaak Ti actually infiltrates that facility because, she's liberating her clone sons and everything. Mm-hmm. And it kind of gives me vibes of, what was that fucking prison story? Whatever. It's very reminiscent of those Prison Break movies and everything.
Okay.
Where she's just pretending to be this helpless woman who's amongst the clones, and then she slowly convinces the locals to help liberate them and everything, and they're like, yay, freedom,
Yeah,
kill all these droids.
Typical Prison Break plot.
Yeah, typical Prison Break plot. And she fights this, one of Dooku's dark acolytes named Atero Darak, who is that guy in the picture, as you saw.
Atero Darak.
Obviously.
Star Wars likes to reuse names.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Skywalker.
And Terrell Blood.
Terrell.
There's your main antagonist in the Bounty Hunter story, is Terrell Blood.
Yep, I remember, yep. Let's see. Though, uniquely enough, so this is kind of a nice little background thing. The reason why it was canceled was because they didn't consider Shaak Ti to be a marketable enough hero. And
Bullshit!
They replaced it with another novel called Yoda Dark Rendezvous, and Yoda being the popular character, that's more marketable.
Fucking Yoda. Give
Dark...
Shaak Ti a bit of spotlight.
Yeah, from what I've heard, The Dark Rendezvous is actually a really good novel, where Yoda basically goes to Count Dooku and tries to convince him to rejoin the light side, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. It's a really good novel, but yeah, it would have been nice to have Shaak Ti a little bit of spotlight.
Yeah, Shaak Ti deserves the spotlight.
Yeah, let me see. And through Shaak Ti's numerous accomplishments throughout the Clone Wars, she got special honors from the Supreme Chancellor in the form of medals and even several other awards. More specifically, this piece of flora called the Chara tree, as you'll see in this picture here. Yeah, she's just wearing a little medallion around her neck, and that tree in the background is the special tree that Palpatine gives her.
That's cool.
Yeah. From what I can tell, this tree is a very sacred tree, which makes it being a gift to Shaak Ti a really huge deal. Mm-hmm. And Shaak Ti decided, okay, instead of keeping it for myself, I'm going to put it in the Grand Hall of the Jedi Temple for all of the Jedi Order to come and meditate on.
This is why I wish they showed us more of the Jedi Temple.
Yeah.
Because that would have been fucking cool to see.
Yeah, it would have been pretty cool. And classic Palpatine, he had ulterior motives for giving this tree to Shaak Ti.
Of course, there's something behind it.
From my brief research, apparently this tree is like what was it? It basically listens in onto communications and is connected to other trees as a sort of hive mind.
Okay, kind of like an aspen tree.
Yeah, like an aspen tree. And I think he put that tree in there to eavesdrop on the Jedi Temple and everything.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's just a brief amount of research.
What? Speechless.
But yeah, point is, Shaak Ti, decorated war hero, really particularly loved by Palpatine. She is a really badass woman.
Are we moving on to her many deaths now?
We're not quite there yet. the fucking Kenny of Star Wars.
Yeah, she's the Kenny of Star Wars.
At one point, Shaak Ti was captured by the Separatists.
Oh.
And she was placed within the security prison on the factory world of Metoron, which was controlled by the Techno Union, where Tembor was personally overseeing her and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so Bail Organa found out about this, and he was like, oh shit, I gotta get her out of there somehow. And he came up with his idea to basically approach Tembor, saying that, hey, your fucking city, it is really nice, it is really innovative, and I want to take a personal tour of it and look at its template so I could apply it to Alderaan and everything. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this was a ruse to get there, but Tembor was all too happy to give him the tour of his magnificent city and everything.
Good on Bail Organa for being the one to, kiss ass and get in there.
He literally had to do that for 20 years under the Empire.
Jesus Christ.
But anyway,
the man has got a lot of patience.
He has a lot of patience. That thing I appreciate about Bail Organa. Leia Organa doesn't quite take after her father, but adoptive father more accurately. But yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we need an episode for Bail Organa.
Yeah,
now.
He is.
Take a shot.
Take a shot. But yeah, Bail Organa is a fucking Chad. Anyway, so he goes on this tour and he's all like, hey, Tembor, I really want to know how good your security is. Could you take me to your, prison complex or something like that? And Tembor was all too happy to show him.
Of course,
and he
stroking his ego.
Yeah, pretty much. And Bail Organa was, obviously looking for Shaak Ti, and he's like, so who's your newest prisoner? And Tembor was like, oh yes, the great Jedi Master Shaak Ti. We managed to capture her a couple of days ago. It's quite the accomplishment, I can assure you. And Bail Organa was like, here, Shaak Ti, and he threw her lightsaber for her to reach out and cut her way out of her prison. And they managed to get out of there. And obviously, Tembor was not happy that he wrecked shit. But yeah, it's one of those nice little comics in the style of the micro series. It was a really funny story.
Nice.
But yeah. Shaak Ti got captured by the Separatists. Bail Organa just yeeted her lightsaber at her for her to get out of there and everything. Mm-hmm. And then, let me see. And aside from that, she was also present during the tribunal against Ahsoka Tano.
Oh.
She was just kind of there. It's not exactly known what her opinion on the matter was. She was just kind of there in the background. I suspected that she also doubted that Ahsoka went to the dark side, but obviously we don't know.
I wish we knew more.
Yeah, especially with a fellow Togruta.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, let's see, after that, she plays an important part in Fives when he was getting to the bottom of the biochips and everything. Mm-hmm. So, Fives, along with his clone brother named Tup, apparently his biochip malfunctioned and he executed a Jedi general before Order 66 could be enacted.
That's no good.
Yeah, he was all like, good soldiers follow orders, and he gunned the Jedi down instantly in front of everybody in the middle of a battle.
That's not good.
No, it is not good. And everybody's all like, what the fuck is going on?
What the fuck?
What the fuck is going on? Is this a separatist plot? Did they brainwash Tub and everything? And Shaak Ti, along with the head Kaminoan scientist, I'm probably gonna forget her name, Nalase, that's her name. Mm-hmm. The quote-unquote mother of Omega and everything.
Foster mom.
Yeah, the foster mom. So they were going to examine Fives, trying to figure out why he's being so aggressive against the Jedi and everything. Mm-hmm. And, they do a deep brain scan on him and everything. They couldn't find shit, but they didn't like Tub's aggression, particularly towards Jedi. Obviously, Enola Say probably knows what's going on, but Shaak Ti doesn't know.
Of course. The Kaminoans put them in there. Of course they fucking know.
But anyway, so point is, Shaak Ti goes to the Jedi Council where, they would examine Tub through the Force instead of through scientific means, which is probably a good idea to do, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah.
But obviously, they were planning to, Nala Se was going to terminate the clone because, we could have a better time of, looking through his insides and everything if we just terminate them right then and there.
Yeah, they're thinking of killing him.
But obviously, Shaak Ti was not going to let that happen. But, Fives decided to investigate on his own, found the biochip in Fives' head. But unfortunately, Tub passes away, with his last words being, the nightmares are finally over.
Oh, God. That's so sad.
It is so sad. That is.
Tub.
Yeah. Let me see. And then, obviously, Fives was not satisfied with this. The Kaminoans are like, oh, it's a tumor, that sort of thing.
Yeah, they're trying to save their own asses.
Trying to sweep it under the rug and everything. Fives underwent his own investigation, and he went to the cloning facilities, trying to figure out, okay, if this tumor, we gotta figure out what stage in the clone's life this tumor appears in. And they find out that the tumor comes in naturally from the Kaminoans and everything. Mm-hmm. And Nola Se was all like, yes, this is not a tumor, it's a biochip. It's meant to suppress your aggression and make sure you don't go rogue or anything like that.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
You lying whore.
And Shaak Ti, she decided to give Fives a chance. Like, she had her suspicions right off the bat and everything.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah. And she decided, okay, Tub, we have the information, we have the tumor, and we also have the biochip in comparison to the one that Tub has, which is obviously malfunctioned and yours is intact and everything. Mm-hmm. I'm going to bring you and for information we have to the Chancellor himself so that we could get a proper investigation.
Oh, fuck. This is where everything goes sideways.
Yeah. And Fives basically went up to Shaak Ti and he was like, thank you for having faith in me, General. And she was all like, it's not about faith. It's just doing the right thing.
Well, yeah.
And obviously, yeah, they went to Chancellor Palpatine at the Grand Republic Medical Facility because they have a top-of-the-line medical equipment and everything. Uh-huh. And obviously, Palpatine did not want the Jedi to get under, did not want Shaak Ti to find out about the true purpose of the biochips and everything. And Nala Se basically drugged Fives to make him look more suspicious and aggressive. Basically solidifying the fact that the biochips were needed in each clone, otherwise they'll go rogue.
Damn it.
And Fives...
They were this fucking close to finding out Palpatine's true plan.
Yep, exactly. And then we kind of know the rest. Fives give a fuck out of Dodge. Shaak Ti tries to stop him and everything. Reports back to the Jedi Council like, hey, from the information that we know, there's a possibility that there's a virus going on in Fives from the battlefield that's malfunctioning his memory chip after the biochip was taken out, blah, 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 blah. And unfortunately, it resulted in the death of Fives not too long after.
No.
Yeah, it's a really sad arc. It's a really sad arc.
I need to watch that arc now.
Yeah, it is really fucking good.
I just need to keep watching the Clone Wars.
Yes, you do. You haven't gone past the first Twi'lek episode, did you?
No, I have not. I have not even watched the Ryloth arc yet.
It is it's so good. But anyway, then Shaak Ti, after that traumatic experience, then we finally get to the, wow, I went really far in my notes. We get into the true highlight and the true showcase of why Shaak Ti is such a Giga Chad. Enter the Battle of Coruscant itself.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, Shaak Ti, along with several other Jedi Masters, Stacey Ali, who is, think of Adigalia. I believe they were...
I think they're cousins.
Yeah, of the same bloodline. I believe originally that was supposed to be Adigalia, but obviously she died in between episodes. And,
Yes, horned in the gut by Savage.
And she actually got killed by Grievous in Legends.
Oof.
But anyway, I believe they were meant to be the same person, but some lore guy was like, oh, nobody will notice. We'll just rename them.
I think they made them cousins to make it work.
Yeah. And then Stad Ali, Ronan Karab, who is the Euphorian Jedi Master, Val Modama, the Taos, who are like the shaggy shaggy people from Hoth and everything.
Yep.
Rav Belmosia, who is a human, Bink Utria, who is the red Twi'lek Jedi Master and everything. She had her little task force of Jedi to protect Palpatine himself. And, you know, they were in the process of moving him to his bunker. Then they met Grievous, who was going after their asses with his Magna Guards and everything.
Yep.
Where they just go to the train station, have an intense duel with all the Magna Guards. I really like this one moment where she's going mano a mano with a Magna Guard. Like, she killed a Magna Guard earlier, saw his other Magna Guard, just yeeted the remains of his buddy at the Magna Guard, who just effortlessly deflected all of them. He goes into strike, and Shaak Ti just force pushes him into a train.
Nope.
Then, of course, that meme-worthy moment where she ties Grievous's cloak to another train, just yeet!
Insert clip here.
Yeah, I fucking love Shaak Ti. She was a fucking
cunning
Chad.
lady.
Yeah, she was a fucking Chad during that entire
I mean, she
episode.
risked her life to protect Palpatine.
Yep.
I mean, she believed, you know, oh, I have to protect the Chancellor.
And then they... So this is expanded upon in the Labyrinth of Evil. Really need to get around to reading that novel. But they get on a train. They're pursued by Grievous. Mace Windu and Kit Fisto meet up with them. And, you know, Mace Windu has his little duel with Grievous on top of a train. So fucking cool. And then, you know... He force pushes Grievous off of a train, and they make it to safety, and they separate again, because, you know, we gotta participate in the battle. I think you guys can take care of things.
Also, Shaak Ti in the miniseries is voiced by the Queen herself, Grey Leslie.
Yep, I was I was looking forward to you mentioning that, because you are a fangirl of that actress, I believe.
Yes, Grey Leslie is such a good fucking voice actress.
Yeah, where she voice acts Black Canary in both the Justice League Unlimited series and Injustice 2.
Injustice 2 and Batman the Brave and the Bold.
Yep.
That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, that voice actress is awesome.
She is Black fucking Canary.
Yep. Yeah, very fucking cool. Also, the character design for Shaak Ti in the micro series is really adorable looking.
It is. She looks so cute.
Yeah, a lot of people compared her look to a fucking deer.
Yeah, she does look a little like a deer, but
yeah.
I like it. It works with the gracefulness of how she fights and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, of course, we know Shaak Ti and the rest of her Jedi compatriots get Palpatine into the bunker, and Shaak Ti decided she's going to hold off Grievous and his Magna Guards while they get to safety and everything. And this is probably the most impressive showcase of Shaak Ti's skill as a Jedi Master.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she went up against basically a dozen of these Magna Guards.
On her own.
On her own. And keep in mind, each Magna Guard, facing a Magna Guard is no small deal. These guys are specifically trained to kill Jedi and provide a challenge to even a Jedi Master.
Yeah.
And all of them have been personally trained by Grievous in the way of lightsaber combat.
Holy shit.
And
she fought, what, 12 of them?
I think...
A lot.
Point is, a lot. It says a dozen. Probably not literally a dozen, but point is a shit ton.
Yeah, a shit ton. And Grievous.
And Grievous. So, like, these Magna Guards, also a nice little detail, they could think at the speed of light.
The fuck?
Yep.
That's bullshit.
But anyway, so obviously the Magna Guards, they put a couple of good hits on Shaak Ti. One of them disarms her of her lightsaber and everything. And in return, she just yoinks one of the Magna Guard's electro stabs and just fucking annihilates him. And I think kicks one in the face.
That's funny.
Yeah, and then she's having a
At least she's not useless without her lightsaber.
Yeah, and then she gets her lightsaber back, basically dual wielding a lightsaber with electro staff at the same fucking time against these things.
Nice.
Unfortunately, though, it was soon proven that this was a mere distraction by Grievous.
Damn it!
And the Magna Guards, they have her in like this saber lock, and then they start menacingly retreat back into the shadows as Shaak Ti realized that she was duped and everything.
Oh, wow.
And then she just runs as fast as she fucking can to the Palpatine's bunker and everything. Mm-hmm. And she gets there. All of her Jedi compatriots are like dead.
Oh no!
And Palpatine was at Grievous's mercy, obviously being very fucking tired against fighting all those Magna Guards. She tries to fight Grievous, but he effortlessly disarms her. And he was all like, "You are tired, Jedi." And he grabs her lightsaber out of her hand. "You won't be needing this."
He took her lightsaber.
And then he wrapped her up in electric wiring for good measure.
Oh.
He didn't kill her, but yeah, it's still kind of humiliating.
Very humiliating.
Yeah. And then
her lightsaber got stolen.
Again. And then, yeah, because Wotembor captured her, she was separated from her lightsaber, and now Grievous got her lightsaber.
Unfortunately, it sucks when a Jedi is without their lightsaber.
Exactly.
No wonder Anakin loses it so much.
Yeah, this weapon is your life, Anakin. Yeah, how about I get a fucking magnet so it doesn't fly out my hand so many goddamn times? Anyway, so Mace Windu attempts to get Grievous, obviously fails, finds Shaak Ti, who tells him that she failed, basically.
No.
Yeah, she just looked sad.
She had the
humiliated.
shit beaten out of her.
Yep. And then, of course, a couple days later, she recovers in the Jedi Temple and everything. Speedy recovery, I do want to add. And then, she's just chilling out, attends a couple of meetings with the Jedi Council, especially when Anakin was talking about Grievous being on Utapau and everything. Mm-hmm. And then, after that, Shaak Ti, I believe she was tasked by Mace Windu himself to lead the defenses of the Jedi Temple in case Palpatine retaliates and everything. Mm-hmm. And, Shaak Ti was just preparing. She was meditating in the hangar. And that very night, Anakin Skywalker rushes into the hangar because he was like, "Master Shaak Ti, I need to go to the Senate chambers." And Shaak Ti was initially, Shaak Ti didn't want Anakin to go because she needed him to help bolster the defenses in case Palpatine retaliated and everything. But she kind of, something inside her told her that maybe she should let him help Mace Windu, apprehend Palpatine and everything. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "Okay, go ahead."
Wow.
Yeah.
She's just like, fine.
Yeah, a decision that would change the Jedi forever and her life forever.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Shaak Ti. I know it's not your fault, but goddamn it.
God damn it. It was just that simple word.
Yep.
And fate just fucking switched.
Yep, exactly.
Like, damn it.
Shaak Ti, she could have prevented so much, discovering the true purpose of the biochips. Anakin from leaving the Jedi Temple and ultimately killing Mace Windu. God fucking damn it.
And now are we moving on to the Kenny part?
Yeah. A couple of hours later, she sensed a massive disturbance through the Force. And she didn't exactly know what happened. Mace Windu getting killed and Anakin turning to the dark side.
It's just like a barrage of shit going through the Force.
Yeah, and she decided, okay, shit has gone sideways. Now we need to make one last stand. This is the end. But we will make sure to go down fighting. And then, this is kind of where I go into her multiple death sequences and everything.
For context, these are all deleted scenes.
Yeah.
2 of them are deleted scenes from the movies.
Yep.
They would have been so fucking cool either way.
Yep.
Because it gives her more screen time.
Yeah, the first death was on Grievous's flagship, where apparently she recovered and went onto Grievous's flagship to save the Chancellor, but she immediately got captured and stabbed through the back by Grievous.
Yep.
And then, in the Jedi Temple, when Anakin invades, she was meditating, just chilling. Anakin stabs her in the back.
Yeah, she hears the door open. She's like, "What is it, Skywalker?"
Yeah.
And then lightsaber through the back. That
Dead.
is so fucking heartbreaking.
And then, of course, there's one Force vision where Yoda is going on his journey to learn how to become a Force ghost and everything. He sees visions of all the Jedi that he's known get killed by mysterious figures and everything like that. And then one of them was Shaak T being stabbed through her chest with a blue lightsaber and everything. And then, sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, are we gonna talk about the game?
Yeah, in a little bit. I'm about to get there. And then technically a fourth time in the old Lego game where there's this cutscene at the end where Obi-Wan and Yoda are looking at the holo recordings, and apparently Shaak T's just chilling, and then Skywalker just comes in and decapitates her head.
Oh no!
So 4 times technically.
But I think the general consensus is Anakin is the one who killed her.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, 3 out of 4 times, Anakin kills her.
And Grievous was the 4th time, yeah.
Yes, I know.
And then, so I believe in canon, Shaak T kind of was, it's kind of vague what she was feeling at the time, but basically she kind of like accepted fate and everything. Like she, instead of participating in the defense of a Jedi temple, she just went in her personal chambers to meditate. And she made a holo recording for anybody that would come across. Like, do not let the destruction of a Jedi temple be the end of a Jedi order and everything. You know, this last plead of,
And last words of wisdom.
Last words of wisdom. And then not too long after, pretty much it's canon that Anakin just stabs her through the chest and everything. And she was just accepting of
Fuck you, Skywalker!
And yeah, Shaak T was just very accepting of her death by Skywalker's hands. You look so...
she died she died at least a little bit at peace, like Shaq Kun did.
Yeah, exactly. In Legends, however, this is where it gets really interesting. So Shaak T, she actively participates in the defense of a Jedi temple and everything. Like, she personally slains a couple of clone troopers, and she actually trades blows with Anakin himself.
Nice.
Yeah, and obviously, Shaak T, even though she was being very valiant in the defense again in the Jedi temple and everything, she realized they were horrendously outnumbered.
Well, no shit, they're fighting a fucking army.
Yeah, and she knows that if she stays and fights this uphill battle, there will be nothing left of the Jedi Order to protect. So she went to the hangar and coordinated this mass evacuation with the help of some volunteers of a Jedi Temple. Keep in mind, volunteers of the Jedi Temple, they're called Jedi Temple employees. They're basically civilian workers.
Yeah, they're civilians who work at the temple.
Yeah, and with the help of those civilian workers, she was able to evacuate several younglings, Padawans, knights, and masters into transports, and eventually she retreated herself, and they went into the inner bowels of Coruscant.
Nice.
And then a little bit while later...
So at least in Legends, she saved some of the Jedi.
Yeah, a good amount. Probably not enough to last for a good while, but...
No, but still, she saved younglings.
She did save younglings. And then a couple of years later, she manages to get off of Coruscant, and she finds herself on Felucia itself. You know, the jungle world where Aayla Secura gets killed and everything. And with her powers, you know, being poison ivy and everything, she had a instant connection with the wildlife of Felucia itself. And even with its native people, who are called the Felucians. I'll send you a picture of them real
I
quickly.
don't think I've ever seen these guys.
Yeah, they're basically plant people. Yeah, they are really weird, but really cool at the same time. There we go.
Okay. Very strange.
Yeah, and along the lines, she also came across this Laws to Jedi Padawan named Maris Brood. She's a Zabrag and the very embodiment of fan service, as you will see.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, she came across Mara's brood, who was a orphan Jedi Padawan who saw her master get killed in front of her, that whole shebang.
Nice lightsabers.
Yeah, those Shoto lightsabers, impractical as hell, but they're so cool. Mara's brood takes her to Felucia to help train her in the ways of Jedis.
She doesn't even look like a Zabrak.
Well, I mean, if you look at her head, she's got the
I know
head
she's
horns.
got the horns.
Yeah.
But,
Oh,
anyway.
Man. Anyway, yeah. And much like Anakin, Mara's brood had a lot of built-up rage within her, and she wanted to, she's the hot-headed Zabrak stereotype and everything. She wants to take the fight to the Empire and everything. She wants to slew Darth Vader and everything. Mm-hmm. But Shaak Ti knows that in their current state, they do not have the ability to overthrow the Empire and everything.
Yeah.
And let me actually, I know it's kind of unrelated, but Shaak Ti, when she's on Felucia, she looks hot. Like,
God damn it, wrong one. Yeah, she looks awesome. She tied her Leiku back, which I like.
Yeah, I was looking at several Force Unleashed videos, and a lot of people were like, God damn, whatever race Shaak Ti is a part of, they age really well.
Yeah.
It's not exactly clear how old Shaak Ti is during the prequels. I assume she's like in her 30s or 40s, somewhere around there.
That's the best guess. Obi-Wan was in his 30s.
Yeah. During the time of the Force Unleashed games, it takes place in roughly, if I could find a date real quickly, I believe it. Oh, God damn it. Basically, the events of The Force Unleashed is like 9 or 8 years before the original trilogy and everything.
Oh, okay.
She lasted a pretty good while.
She lasted almost up until the original trilogy, which is good.
Yeah.
Especially for a Jedi survivor of Order 66.
Yeah, and she would be roughly around in her 50s or 60s around this point.
Damn, she aged well.
She does age really fucking well.
Dakota's age perfectly.
She does. And, during her time on Felucia, she communed with the flora, she communed with its people, and she actually became a very respectable chieftain amongst the Felucian people.
Nice.
Because I think naturally, the Felucians are uber aggressive. Like, they lean more to the dark side than anything else. And Shaak Ti was just that influence that calmed Felucia and, kept the Felucians in order and everything.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then we know what goes on. Starkiller is sent to Felucia as a final test by Darth Vader. Darth Vader, being the guy who personally crossed blades with Shaak Ti at the Jedi Temple, he knows more than anybody else how deadly Shaak Ti is. Mm-hmm. He personally said to Starkiller, he was all like, for your final test, you need to face a true Jedi Master, the last of the Jedi Council.
How the fuck did he even know she was still alive?
He had spies everywhere.
Fucker.
And he was all like, you will need the full power of the dark side to defeat her.
Well, he does. Technically, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the clip. She basically... And this fight takes place by a Sarlacc pit, right?
Yeah, specifically the Ancient Abyss, and I'll send you a picture of that real quickly.
It's a weird fucking boss fight.
It is, but I think it's very appropriate considering Shaak Ti's nature and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. But, the way she dies is really weird because she doesn't even really die. Starkiller does not kill her.
Yeah.
She jumps into the fucking Sarlacc pit and turns into a ball of light.
Yeah, basically. They have their fight. By the way, there's a novelization of The Force Unleashed where it describes in detail of a fight between Starkiller and Shaak Ti. And apparently Shaak Ti was so skilled in lightsaber combat that she overwhelmed Starkiller's skill in Surisu, which is the defense fighting style, that he actually needed to resort to using his force abilities to even contend with her.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then, she commands the Sarlacc pit to strangle Starkiller, but he manages to get out of there and severely wounds Shaak Ti in the process. Then Shaak Ti is greatly wounded. She's all like, she is not personally angry at Starkiller because she kind of realizes that he's nothing more than a pawn in the great game of the Sith and everything.
Yeah.
She was all like, you have such power, but your talents are wasted as Vader's apprentice. You could be so much more. And Starkiller's all like, you're not going to convince me to betray my master. And Shaak Ti's like, poor thing. The Sith always betray one another. But I'm sure you'll find that out soon enough.
Obvious foreshadowing.
Obvious foreshadowing.
I haven't even played the game and I know what happens.
Yeah. For the viewers, yes, take another shot. We'll be doing a future episode on Starkiller himself one of these days.
That'll be interesting to do.
Yeah, it'll be pretty fun. He is a controversial figure, to say the very least.
I'm sure.
Anyway, so we know Shaak Ti, technically she didn't get killed by Starkiller. It was more of a suicide and everything.
Kind of. It's more like how Yoda kind of passed away into the Force.
Except he didn't explode in a sphere of light and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, the moment she passed away into the Force, Felucia immediately went to the dark side.
Of course.
She was
the only positive influence on Felucia.
She was like the dam that was holding the powers of the dark side at bay. The moment she died, that dam was demolished.
Damn it.
And Mara's brood, who she sent into hiding, was overwhelmingly corrupted by the dark side of the Force, and she turned, evil and everything.
Aw, damn it.
And then later in the storyline of Force Unleashed, Bail Organa knows where Shaak Ti is. He was initially going out to find Shaak Ti to recruit her in rescuing Princess Leia, who was taken captive by the Empire and everything, but he didn't realize she's dead, and he was captured by Mara's brood.
Oh no.
Yeah. There was this one scene where Mara's brood feeds him a slab of meat or something like that, and it was very horrid conditions. Like Felucia is covered in darkness and everything.
Yeah, not very good conditions.
Yeah. The Felucians, I don't have pictures of them right now, but the Felucians, they look at the picture that I sent you and imagine them with a hanging mouth and everything.
That's creepy.
Yeah, and Bail Organa was all like, why are you doing this, Mara's brood? Shaak Ti would be disgusted with you.
Yeah.
And then eventually Galen Merrick...
would be.
Yeah, Galen Merrick comes back, Starkiller, comes back, saves Bail Organa, has a brief little clash with Mara's brood and everything. Mara's brood kind of begs him to spare her and everything. Initially, Starkiller was going to kill her because, in his words, he would be doing the galaxy a favor, but he decided to spare her because it was he was the reason she turned to the dark side.
I guess.
Because, he killed his master. But yeah,
wow.
Aside from that is the story of Shaak Ti.
I just wish she had a proper cemented canon ending.
Yeah. Just getting offed by Skywalker multiple times.
Fuck you, Skywalker. Why'd you have to kill Clone Mom?
But yeah, Shaak Ti, she's a pretty interesting Jedi. I am.
She definitely had more backstory than I thought, which is fucking awesome.
She is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure it's the majority of the Star Wars fan base that wish they could have gotten more out of Shaak Ti. I mean, a lot of people may think Shaak Ti is kind of vanilla. Like, we already have Ahsoka Tano, who's already a Togruta. Why bother diving into another Togruta? But it would be nice to explore a little bit of her backstory and everything.
Yeah, it would be awesome, but no.
Yeah.
The writers don't want to.
But yeah, I hope you guys, okay. That is our episode of Can Mayonnaise Kill a Jedi? Or in this case, how hot can Shaak Ti get?
I know, right?
But yeah, you want to know what the next episode is going to be about, Hannah?
Enlighten me.
We, so as I did with our Tatooine episode, just diving into new topics. In this case, it's planets. And going a complete 180 from the barren wasteland that is Tatooine and everything, we will be exploring a planet that is much more lively in comparison. Naboo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the very first planet that we ever see in the prequel trilogy, which is fucking amazing.
Naboo is just beautiful.
It is very gorgeous. But yeah, we'll get that in the next episode. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful May 4th. And yeah, hope you're having a wonderful day. And we'll see you in the next episode.
This is the way.
This is the way, and may
May
the fourth be with you.